My name's Dave Hagen. I started the Monster Mania Con along with my two sons, Dave Jr. and Doug.
Hi, my name is David Hagen. My dad is actually Dave Jr., by the way. I was basically in charge of picking up some guests, accommodating them, running around, keeping track of staff, and basically handling problems as they arose during the show.
Hi, my name is Doug. I'm the youngest of the group. I was in charge of setting up all the tables and getting the layout set up right, and as well as running the ticket tables and making sure everything ran smoothly.
Who are we here to see today?
Doug Bradley.
Okay.
The building towards the back.
The King of Pain.
What's your favorite horror movie?
There's a big sign
I think
up
I'd
on
have
the
to
wall
say
that says
Hellraiser
Windsor
3.
Hell on Earth. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
And why are you here today?
Joe Bob Briggs, hopefully, if I didn't miss him.
Can we see him?
He was here. I don't know if he's still here.
Oh.
He's supposed to do something
supposed
tonight
to.
before the Gotham Ball.
What's your favorite horror movie?
I'm going to have to say Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I don't know if
Two of your
that's...
brothers are here?
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's considered horror, but it's just a really great movie. I guess it would be considered horror.
Yeah, well...
In the campy sort of way.
Okay. Comedy horror.
Comedy horror.
And I'm here because I'm a horror fanatic.
Okay, my name is Rachel.
I'm Richie Riot. Yes, Richie Riot. I'm here because I'm famous, sort of. Well, local legend. But we're just here because this is our first convention and we wanted to check it out. And I've been doing this for a few years. I think it's my favorite movie, Night of the Living Dead, original. And favorite actor, I guess Leatherface. Probably all-time favorite, Leatherface.
I don't know, I'm here because I actually came with him. As I said, it's my first convention. I wanted to check it out and see what it was all about. And I don't know, I really like horror movies a lot, so that's why I came out.
Alright, thanks guys.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Essentially, my oldest son and I were coming back from a convention that was about a 7-hour drive away, and we had done a number of conventions in cities around the East Coast and some towards the Middle States, and we were saying how the Philadelphia area just didn't have, a horror show, and with the popularity of the shows in different states all around except Philadelphia, we just thought it would be a great idea for Philadelphia to have a show, and with the contacts that we had made over 5 years or so of being dealers at the various shows, we'd gotten to know a number of the stars, and just was brainstorming if we were going to have a show, who would we like to have, what type of show would we want to have, and it just blossomed from that into actually coming up with the show.
Hey, I'm Doug Bradley, Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, here at Monster Mania Con, having a cool time. I'll tear your soul.
Did you ever really kill someone?
Oh, often.
Hellraiser was a really influential film, just as Friday the 13th and Halloween kicked off a bloodier. Hellraiser for sure led it to cerebral, horror as a more psychological, special effect-oriented thing. Was your character envisioned to be as big a deal as it was in the film? Because I think that film would have been great even without, the Cenobites. But when you show up, the audience just goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good observation. I've always said this, that you could take the Cenobites out of the Hellraiser story entirely, and you'd have a pretty serviceable slasher story with this strange overlay of a skinned man being brought back to humanity in the name of love. And that would work fine, but you put the Cenobites in and you take it off to a whole other place. Hellraiser, I think, is fundamentally a gothic horror film, but it's a gothic horror film that doesn't have rotting castles and swirling mist and bats, and it's not set in some faux medieval time. It's very much a modern day gothic horror film, and I think you're right as well that it does bring in a psychological level. It trades very much on sadomasochistic sexuality. I think fundamentally the key to the Hellraiser story is the Faustus story. Goethe or Marlowe, if you read either of those, I know Clive was always a huge fan of Marlowe's play of Dr. Faustus, and I think it's a big influence on a great deal of his work, Hellraiser included. Where does the original Hellraiser movie take place? Yeah, it's a very good question, because it's confusing, isn't it? Yeah. It's written to take place in London. Right at the last minute, New World decided it had to take place in America. For some reason, they didn't quite rewrite things properly, but I think it was even a decision that was taken after we'd finished filming. But it's done so unevenly. I mean, Julia, when she and Larry first come to the house, there's all this stuff about we're not in Manhattan anymore, that she's back on her old stomping ground. I guess we could assume that, okay, she's left New York and she's gone to live in Chicago or somewhere, but that was the first obvious sign that we were in London. The clearest thing, I think, is they've overdubbed Kirsty's boyfriend with an American accent. But in the scene in the station, he tries to kiss her, and she says, "Oh, I was warned about you English guys." Hello? And there's a British Rail 125 Express that goes thundering through the station. And it doesn't look a lot like an Amtrak train to me at all. But it's completely uneven, because all the victims are English. They haven't given them American accents at all. So you have this strange notion that not only is Julia going out trawling the bars, looking for single guys, or married guys indeed, to pick up and lure back to the house on the pretense of having casual sex with us so she can beat their brains out and feed their blood to Frank. She's going out and trawling the bars of New York or wherever the hell we are in America, and she's looking for bald English guys. Every single one of them looks like I do now. I've been flagging this for many, many years, ever since Kane first started talking to me about this movie, the Freddy Jason movie, which is, it's 10 years and more ago this has been rolling around. And it absolutely sucked that Kane didn't get to do the picture, but anyway, it's another story. There is only one Jason Voorhees.